Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here with another installment of Rabbi E in 3, brought to you by MEOR, Washington, D.C. MEORDC.com is our website. Have a look and learn about our programs. It's still not too late to apply for the Maimonides Jewish Leaders Fellowship. Okay, well, we have a lot to talk about, but quickly, two questions. Number one, for you. Today, did you remember and mention that you left Egypt? Number two, did you today remember that you, and mention that you, stood at Mount Sinai? What am I talking about? Let's back up. This week's Torah portion is Bo in the book of Exodus, and it describes the Exodus. We have the last three of the makos of the plagues, culminating in the plague of the firstborn. The Jewish people, after bringing up Passover offering that God had commanded, blood on the doorposts, as you remember, were whisked out of Egypt. And we have many of the laws of Passover in this Torah portion, a whole lot going on in the portion of Bo. But it makes us think about the prominent role the Exodus plays in our faith. Yetzias Mitzrayim. Many commandments in our Jewish lives are connected to Yetzias Mitzrayim, to the Exodus. On Friday Night Kiddush, we mentioned Shabbos, Zecher L'Yetzias Mitzrayim, a remembrance of the Exodus from Egypt. And not only that, but in the book of Deuteronomy, later on, there's a verse that says, you should remember the day of your going out of Egypt, Kol Yemei Chayecha, all the days of your life. And the Talmud says that means days and nights. We mention twice a day the going out of Egypt. If we say the Shema, the third paragraph of the Shema, which we say in the morning and the night, mentions going out of Egypt. Why do we have to mention it so many times? We remember the Torah is not a history book anyway, as I always say. It's a book of instructing us how to live as Jews and to maximize our potential in this world every single day. I could remember going out of Egypt once a month, once a year, at Pesach time, or even once a day, but twice a day? And then I alluded to before something else. There's a verse in the book of Deuteronomy every day to remember that we stood at Mount Sinai, that God brought us out of Egypt to Mount Sinai to get the Torah. We heard the Ten Commandments in an incredible public revelation, unequaled, unparalleled by anything like that in history. We have to remember that every day. Not twice a day, but every single day. Why? So, it's because we need to know what it means to be a Jewish person. A Jewish person means, one aspect of being a Jew means that even in the darkest times, we know there's a Redeemer. God took us out of Egypt from the worst slavery, physical and spiritual, and took us out. Every day we need to know in our own troubles, whether they're collectively, God forbid, of the Jewish people, or individually, God forbid, we all have troubles. There's a Redeemer. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. That's part of our emunah, our faith, no matter how hard it gets. We have to hang in there and do our best. God has sent us these difficulties in order to perfect us, elevate us, refine us. But there will be a redemption. That's one lesson every day we remember when we remember the going out of Egypt. And we have to remember that the purpose of our lives is to keep the Torah. That's why we have to remember every single day that God elevated us to an incredible mission that's good for us and good for the world, the Torah. So every day going out of Egypt and getting the Torah, we have the strength to live up to our mission as Jewish people. God took us out of Egypt and He gave us the Torah. Don't ever forget it every single day. Have a great Shabbos.